He kissed me and said, "You're the only one I trust." I nodded. Knowing I had screenshots of him and my best friend, they watched in horror as I projected their affair at my birthday party. I never thought I'd be writing one of these posts, but here we are. Reddit, I need your honest opinions because I'm about to do something that will either be the most satisfying revenge of my life or completely blow up in my face. Let me start from the beginning. My name is Sarah, and I've been living with my best friend Jessica for almost 2 years now. We met in college, stayed close after graduation, and when we both ended up in the same city for work, sharing an apartment seemed like the perfect arrangement. We share everything: groceries, Netflix passwords, our dreams and fears. I trusted her completely. My boyfriend Marcus and I have been together for 2 years. He's not perfect, but I thought we had something real. He's ambitious, works in finance, and we've been talking about moving in together next year. Jessica always seemed supportive of our relationship, even giving me advice when we had our occasional arguments. She'd listen to me vent about his habits, help me pick out gifts for him, and always encouraged me to fight for love when things got rocky. Here's where everything went to hell. Last Tuesday evening, I came home early from work with a migraine. Jessica wasn't home, which was normal since she usually works late at her marketing firm. I grabbed our shared laptop from the living room to order some food delivery, and that's when I saw it. The laptop was still logged into Jessica's Facebook Messenger, and there was an active conversation with someone named M that made my blood run cold. The messages I saw were intimate. Really intimate. "Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. And Sarah's working late again. We have the place to ourselves." My hands were literally trembling as I scrolled up through their conversation history. 6 months. 6 fucking months of messages, photos, and plans to meet up whenever I wasn't around. But here's the thing that really broke me: it wasn't just some random guy. The profile picture was small, but I recognized that stupid blue tie Marcus always wears to work. My best friend has been sleeping with my boyfriend in our shared apartment for half a year. I sat there for probably an hour just reading through their messages, and the level of betrayal was staggering. They weren't just hooking up, they were planning a future together. Jessica had sent him screenshots of apartments she wanted them to move into. Marcus was talking about how he was waiting for the right time to break up with me. They even had inside jokes about my habits, things I had confided to Jessica about my insecurities and fears. The worst part? They were laughing about how oblivious I was. Jessica had written, "She actually asked me yesterday if I thought you seemed distant lately. I told her you were probably just stressed about work." She bought it completely. Marcus replied, "You're so good at handling her. I don't know how you keep a straight face." Handling me, like I was some kind of problem they had to manage together. I closed the laptop and just sat on our couch, trying to process what I had discovered. Why should I give them the satisfaction of a messy confrontation they could spin to our friends? Why should I let them paint me as the crazy ex-girlfriend who couldn't handle the truth? They've been playing a game for 6 months, thinking they're so clever and I'm so clueless. Well, game on. I spent the rest of that evening acting completely normal when Jessica came home. I asked about her day, shared some leftover Chinese food with her, and even listened sympathetically when she complained about her boss. The whole time I was watching her face, looking for any sign of guilt or discomfort. There was nothing. She's either a sociopath or an incredibly talented actress. When Marcus came over the next night for our usual Thursday dinner, I was the perfect girlfriend. I kissed him hello, asked about his day, and made his favorite pasta dish. I even thanked Jessica for being such an amazing friend right in front of him. The look they exchanged when they thought I wasn't watching was priceless, pure panic mixed with confusion. Here's my plan, and I need Reddit's honest opinion on whether this makes me a genius or a monster. I'm not going to confront them yet. Instead, I'm going to document everything. I've already taken photos of their conversation history. Yes, I know this might be ethically questionable, but it's a shared laptop that I pay half the internet bill for. I'm going to start paying attention to all the little signs I missed before Jessica's sudden new clothes she couldn't afford on her salary, Marcus's convenient work emergencies that coincided with my late meetings, the way they both always seemed to know my schedule better than I did. I'm also going to start digging deeper into what else they might be hiding. Jessica has access to a lot of my personal information, my work contacts, my professional references, even my LinkedIn password that I stupidly shared with her months ago. I have a feeling this betrayal goes deeper than just stealing my boyfriend. I've been gathering proof for weeks, planning to expose them both, publicly, brutally. Maybe a dinner party with all our mutual friends, even Marcus's coworkers. I want them humiliated, unable to spin or deny the truth. They're hurting me together while pretending to care. So Reddit, am I wrong to want revenge, or should I just confront them and walk away? I'll keep you updated on how this develops. Right now, I need to go pretend to be excited about Jessica's new job interview tomorrow. Little does she know, I'm about to become very interested in her career moves. Update 1. Hey Reddit, it's been 2 weeks since my original post, and I promised I'd update you on my situation. So here's what's been happening. I've been living a double life for 14 days now, and honestly, I'm getting pretty good at this whole acting thing. Jessica and Marcus have no idea that I know anything. I've been the perfect roommate and girlfriend, all while systematically documenting their deception. The laptop has been a goldmine of information. They're not just careless, they're arrogant. They've been using our shared computer for everything, probably thinking I'm too trusting to ever snoop. Well, they were wrong about that. I've screenshot everything: their message history, their photo exchanges, their plans for future dates. But here's where it gets really interesting. Jessica has been using my professional network to advance her own career, and I mean really using it. Remember how I mentioned I work in marketing coordination? Well, Jessica works at a smaller marketing firm across town, and apparently she's been struggling to make connections in the industry. So what does she do? She starts leveraging my relationships without telling me. I discovered she's been reaching out to my professional contacts, introducing herself as my business partner and close collaborator. She's been using my LinkedIn account. I gave her my password months ago when she helped me update my profile to message people in my network, setting up meetings and informational interviews for herself. But it gets worse. Last week, I found email drafts in our shared Google account where Jessica was applying for jobs using my project portfolio. She literally copied descriptions of campaigns I've worked on and submitted them as her own work. There's one application where she took credit for a major client presentation I spent weeks preparing. This woman has been living in my apartment, eating my food, listening to me stress about work, all while actively sabotaging my career behind my back. I called my sister Emma, she's a lawyer, and asked her some questions about intellectual property theft and identity fraud. Without going into details, I wanted to understand what Jessica was actually doing legally. Emma's response was basically, if someone is using another person's work and professional identity to gain employment opportunities, that could be grounds for serious professional consequences and potentially legal action. That's when I decided to expand my investigation. I've been paying closer attention to Jessica's behavior, and now that I know what to look for, the signs are everywhere. She always seems to have insider information about job openings at companies I've mentioned being interested in. She suddenly has money for expensive clothes and dinners out, despite complaining about being broke just a few months ago. And she's been weirdly interested in my work schedule, always asking about my meetings and deadlines. Marcus has been just as obvious, now that I'm actually paying attention. He cancels our dates with increasingly creative excuses, but Jessica always seems to be working late or meeting a friend on those same nights. He started asking weird questions about my relationship with Jessica, like whether I think she's happy or if she's mentioned wanting to move out. I think he's trying to figure out if she's told me anything. The most infuriating part is how they act when they're both around me. They're literally gaslighting me together, and they think they're being clever about it. But here's what they don't know. I've been building a case against both of them. For Marcus, I have 6 months of screenshots showing their relationship timeline, including messages where they explicitly discuss deceiving me. For Jessica, I have evidence of her using my professional identity, copies of job applications where she plagiarized my work, and records of her accessing my LinkedIn account to contact my professional network without permission. Here, your revised passage, trimmed to fit within 800 characters, with spaces. I've been quietly asking our friends if they've noticed anything off about Jessica or Marcus. Turns out I'm not alone. David said Jessica asked him about jobs at our company, saying I recommended her. Another friend said Marcus seemed distant lately. The plan's forming, but timing matters. I'm waiting for Jessica's big work presentation. She's using my work without credit. I want her to fully commit before exposing her. Marcus can wait. Once Jessica falls professionally, I'll reveal their affair. Last night she made dinner and told me I was like a sister. I smiled, knowing I have screenshots of her calling me pathetically naive to my boyfriend. Marcus has been even worse. He's been extra affectionate lately, probably feeling guilty, and he keeps talking about our future together. I wanted to laugh in his face. But I'm staying strong, Reddit. Every time I feel like confronting them immediately, I remember that they deserve to have their own plan turned against them. I've started preparing for the aftermath too. I've been looking at apartments I could afford on my own, and I've been having casual conversations with my boss about potential career advancement opportunities. Whatever happens, I'm not going to let their betrayal derail my life. Some of you in the comments asked if I was sure about going through with this elaborate revenge instead of just walking away. Here's the thing, they're not just hurting me personally. Jessica is actively damaging my professional reputation and potentially harming other people she might target in the future. Marcus is just a cheating asshole, but Jessica is actually dangerous. I found out through some careful social media stalking that she had a roommate before me who moved out suddenly after only 6 months. I reached out to this girl through Instagram, and while she didn't want to go into details, she said she'd had trust issues with Jessica and warned me to be careful about sharing personal information. This is a pattern for Jessica. I'm probably not her first victim, and I won't be her last unless someone stops her. So the plan continues. The dinner party idea is still on the table, but I'm thinking bigger now. I want to make sure Jessica's professional misconduct gets reported to the right people, and I want Marcus to face social consequences among our friend group. They're about to find out just how good I am. Update 2. Reddit, I'm literally shaking with adrenaline as I write this. The past month has been insane, and everything is finally coming together. Jessica's presentation happened last week, and holy shit, she really did it. She actually used my work and presented it as her own to her entire company. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me catch you up on everything that's happened. First, I need to tell you about the fake job posting. Some of you suggested in the comments that I should test how far Jessica would go with her career sabotage, so I created a honey trap. I made a fake LinkedIn profile for a senior marketing director at a prestigious firm and posted about a dream position that matched Jessica's experience perfectly. Then I casually mentioned to Jessica that I'd heard about this amazing opportunity and was thinking of applying. I watched her face light up with fake sympathy as she said, "Oh, Sarah, that sounds perfect for you. You should definitely go for it." Within 24 hours, Senior Marketing Director had received an application from Jessica Rodriguez, complete with my project descriptions and a cover letter that plagiarized my personal statement from graduate school. She didn't just steal my work. She stole my actual words about my career goals and motivations. I have screenshots of everything. The fake recruiter even responded asking for references, and Jessica provided names from my professional network, claiming they could speak to her work quality. The audacity is breathtaking. Meanwhile, Marcus has been getting sloppier with his lies. Last Tuesday, he told me he had to work late for an important client dinner. But Jessica texted me saying she was going to a work happy hour and would be home late. I decided to drive by Marcus's office building around 7 p.m., and guess what? His car wasn't there. So I went to the restaurant Jessica had mentioned for her work event. No Jessica, but I did see Marcus's car in the parking lot of the hotel next door. I sat in my car for 2 hours, and sure enough, they came out together around 9 p.m., holding hands and laughing. Watching them together, seeing how comfortable and happy they looked, was like getting punched in the stomach all over again. But it also solidified my resolve. They're not just cheating, they're enjoying it. They're getting off on the deception. The presentation happened last Thursday. Jessica had been bragging about it for weeks, talking about how it could be her big break at the company. She even asked me to help her practice, which was surreal because I was essentially coaching her on how to present my own stolen work. I couldn't attend the presentation, obviously, but I had prepared for this moment. The day before, I sent an anonymous email to Jessica's boss and HR department with a detailed breakdown of the plagiarized content. I included side-by-side comparisons of Jessica's presentation materials and my original work, complete with timestamps showing when I created each piece. I also included evidence of her using my LinkedIn account to contact my professional references without permission, and screenshots of her job applications where she claimed credit for my projects. The email was professional and factual, no emotional language or personal attacks. Just a clear documentation of intellectual property theft and professional misconduct. Jessica came home that night in the best mood I'd seen her in months. She was practically glowing, talking about how well the presentation went and how impressed her boss seemed. She opened a bottle of wine to celebrate and insisted I join her. "This could change everything for me, Sarah," she said, raising her glass. "I finally feel like I'm getting the recognition I deserve." I clinked glasses with her and smiled. "You definitely deserve everything that's coming to you." She had no idea how true that statement was. The next morning, Jessica got a call asking her to come into the office immediately for an urgent meeting. She seemed confused but not worried. "Probably just follow-up questions about the presentation," she told me as she rushed out. She didn't come home that night. I got a text around 8 p.m., "Staying at my mom's for a few days, need some space to think." No explanation, no details, but I knew exactly what had happened. I waited until the weekend to reach out to my contact at Jessica's company, a woman I'd worked with on a joint project last year. She confirmed what I suspected. Jessica was under investigation for plagiarism and professional misconduct. The presentation had been pulled, and she was on administrative leave pending a full review. "I can't give you details," my contact said, "but someone provided very comprehensive evidence of intellectual property theft. It's pretty damning." Now here's where Marcus comes in. He's been texting me all week, asking if I know where Jessica is and why she's not responding to his messages. He seems genuinely panicked, which tells me she hasn't told him about the investigation. Yesterday, he came over to check on me since Jessica had been acting strange. He sat on our couch, the same couch where I discovered their affair, and asked if I thought Jessica was okay. "She seemed stressed about work," I said innocently. "Maybe the presentation didn't go as well as she thought." Marcus got this weird look on his face. "What do you mean? She said it went great." "Oh, I'm sure it did." I just know how these corporate things can be unpredictable. I could see him trying to figure out if I knew something, but he couldn't ask directly without revealing their relationship. It was beautiful watching him squirm. But here's the best part, Reddit. I've been planning the final confrontation, and it's going to be epic. This Saturday is my birthday, and I'd already planned a dinner party before all this started. I sent invitations to all our mutual friends, including Marcus, before Jessica's world imploded. Now I'm keeping the party exactly as planned, but I'm adding a special element. I've prepared what I'm calling a friendship tribute, presentation, a slideshow celebrating my relationship with Jessica over the years. It includes photos, memories, and a timeline of our friendship. But embedded within this innocent presentation are screenshots of their messages, evidence of Jessica's professional theft, and a complete breakdown of their 6-month affair. The presentation is designed to look like a normal birthday slideshow until about halfway through, when the plot twist begins. I've timed it perfectly so that by the time people realize what they're seeing, it'll be too late for Marcus or Jessica to stop it. I sent Jessica a text this morning. "I know you're going through something, but please come to my birthday dinner Saturday. I miss my best friend, and I have a special surprise planned." She responded, "I'll try to make it. Things are complicated right now." Marcus has already confirmed he'll be there. I've also invited my sister Emma, who's excited to finally meet the roommate and boyfriend I've told her so much about. She doesn't know the full plan, but she knows something's happening and she'll be there for moral support. The guest list includes about 15 people, our college friends, some of my work colleagues, and a few neighbors from our building. Enough witnesses to ensure that Marcus and Jessica can't spin this as a private misunderstanding. I've been practicing my presentation delivery, making sure I can get through it without breaking down. The goal isn't just to expose them, it's to do it in a way that makes their deception undeniable and their excuses impossible. Some of you might think this is cruel or excessive, but Reddit, they've been systematically destroying my life for months. Jessica didn't just steal my boyfriend, she stole my work, my professional relationships, and my sense of reality. Marcus didn't just cheat, he actively participated in gaslighting me while planning his future with my best friend. They deserve to face the consequences of their actions in front of the people who matter to them. Saturday is in 3 days. I've never been more nervous or more excited about anything in my life. I'll update you all after the party. Wish me luck, I'm about to blow up their entire world. Update 3. Reddit, I'm still processing Saturday night, but holy shit, do I have a story for you. The dinner party was absolutely nuclear in the best possible way. I spent all day preparing cooking Marcus's favorite lasagna. The irony wasn't lost on me, setting up the projector for my friendship tribute and mentally rehearsing. My sister Emma arrived early and could tell something big was coming. Guests arrived around 7 college friends, work colleagues, neighbors. Everyone was in great spirits, completely unaware they were about to witness the most dramatic dinner party of their lives. Marcus showed up on time, nervous but acting normal. He brought an expensive necklace and kissed me like the perfect boyfriend. Jessica arrived last, looking terrible, clearly been crying, jumpy, distracted. She hugged me and whispered, "Thank you for inviting me, I really needed this." If she only knew, we had dinner first. Jessica barely ate, kept checking her phone. Marcus was overcompensating, being extra charming. When David asked about her presentation, she just said, "It's complicated." After dinner, I tapped my wine glass. I've prepared a special presentation about friendship, love, and the people who shape our lives. The first 10 minutes were normal college photos, funny memories, dating pictures. Everyone was smiling and laughing. Jessica even teared up during the friendship section. Then slide 15 appeared, a screenshot of Jessica's message to Marcus from 3 months ago. She actually asked me yesterday if I thought you seemed distant lately. I told her you were probably just stressed about work. She bought it completely. Complete silence. Someone gasped. "This is when I learned that friendship isn't always what it seems," I said calmly, advancing to the next slide. Slide 16 showed Marcus's response. "You're so good at handling her, I don't know how you keep a straight face." Jessica went white. Marcus stared at the screen in disbelief. The next slides were a timeline of their 6-month affair photos, plans, conversations about their future. I narrated each one with professional calm. Here we see them planning dates during my work meetings. Here's Jessica using our apartment for romantic evenings, and here's them discussing how pathetically naive I am. By slide 20, people were reacting audibly. Jessica finally found her voice. "Sarah, stop. Please, let me explain." "Oh, we're not done yet," I said, "because this isn't just about betrayal. It's also about theft." The next section documented Jessica's professional misconduct, plagiarized applications, unauthorized LinkedIn use, stolen project portfolios, side-by-side comparisons of my work and her submissions. Jessica has been using my professional identity while living in my home and pretending to be my best friend. She's currently under investigation for intellectual property theft. Jessica broke. She stood up, knocking over her wine. "You fucking bitch, you ruined my life, that job was everything to me." "No, Jessica," I said calmly. "You ruined your own life when you decided to steal from me. I just made sure there were consequences." Marcus tried to explain. "It just happened, okay? We didn't plan this. But you were too weak to break up with me honestly," I finished. "Too cowardly to tell me the truth," Emma stepped forward. "I think we've heard enough." "Jessica, Marcus, you should leave. Now." Jessica was crying, mascara streaming. "Our friendship meant something, it wasn't all fake." "Yes, it was," I said. "Real friends don't steal from each other." Marcus tried once more. "Sarah, I love you, we can work through this. Get out, both of you." They left together. After 30 seconds of silence, David started clapping. Soon everyone was applauding. "Holy shit, Sarah," said my friend Kate. "That was the most badass thing I've ever seen." Sunday, Marcus texted wanting to talk. I told him to lose my number. Jessica sent a long email alternating between apologies and accusations, blaming me for destroying her career over a personal grudge. I deleted it. Monday, I called my landlord about removing Jessica from the lease. Her overnight guests violated building policy, so she has 30 days to collect her belongings. I heard Jessica's investigation concluded she was terminated for professional misconduct and blacklisted from several companies. Marcus has been calling nonstop from new numbers. Emma suggested documenting everything for a potential restraining order. The best part? People from the party offered support. David mentioned a senior coordinator opening at our company. Kate invited me to her book club. Mrs. Chen brought homemade soup. This experience broke something in me but built something stronger. I learned I'm not as naive as I thought, and definitely not as helpless as they assumed. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. Sometimes the best revenge really is living well and making sure people face consequences for their actions.